Thursday evening, I'm Chief Meteorologist Emily Walls, and dominating the weather headlines again today is that wildfire smoke that many of us have been dealing with. So ongoing as we speak, there's some 200 wildfires currently taking place in Canada. And based on the current weather pattern that we've had in place this week, it's allowed a lot of that smoke to work its way to the south. We've had reports of poor air quality all the way as far south as the Gulf Coast. And today was really the thick of it for a lot of us. So this map that you're seeing here, what I want you to focus on is all of the shading of yellow. That's a lot of locations, right? A lot of the Midwest, the upper Midwest, all the way over to the East Coast. And that's moderate levels of particulate matter, but not so much for those of you that are in sensitive groups. It's not considered to be unhealthy yet, but it's enough to create that haze in the air. But if you focus on the oranges and the reds, that's where things were extremely hazy today, where some of that particulate matter was actually working its way closer to the ground. That's the smoke particles, and then that's what is considered to be unhealthy. Take a look at this video, actually, that was taken in Chicago today. Look at how smoky it was all the way down to the surface. So this is what we're breathing in. And for those of you that are in sensitive groups, if you have COPD, if you have lung or heart disease, if you have asthma, I'm sure you were really feeling those effects today. And unfortunately, our air quality alert that was originally expected to expire here in the Chicagoland area tonight at midnight, that's been expanded now until midnight tomorrow night. So we still have another whole day to get through that we're going to be dealing with air quality that looks really similar to this video that you're seeing right now. So as of right now, we have many locations that are dealing with this. It's not just in the Chicagoland area. If we take a look at the maps, once again, focusing on the oranges and the reds here, zooming things in, kind of an interesting fact that we saw today on the air quality maps was that the Chicago area was some of the worst air quality in the world today. So notice unhealthy levels in places like Peoria, near the Chicago area, and then especially for sensitive groups, again, for all locations that you have highlighted here in orange. So on days like today, what can we do to make it a little bit better and easier on ourselves? First of all, you should close your windows. Don't keep those open when we have air quality alerts in place. And also, you don't want to do any sort of strenuous activity outside. And if you are in those sensitive groups, if you're part of a community that definitely is more impacted by this poor air quality, you should really take it upon yourself to wear masks and protect yourself from this. We spoke to Dr. Sloboda today from the Chicago Department of Public Health office, and here's what he had to say about what types of groups and the people that really need to take this seriously.
Children are more impacted. That's because they do spend usually more time outside. They're more active, running around, and their lung and heart is developing still, so they can be more impacted by these fine particles. So that kind of puts them at risk. We have older adults are at higher risk as well, just because their body's aging. They may have medical conditions that put them at risk for more impact from fine particles.
So something to keep in mind is not only do we smell the smoke when it's making its way down to the ground surface, but also those small particulate matters that Dr. Sloboda was just mentioning to you, that can actually get into your lungs, into your bloodstream, and that's why we have these air quality alert days where you are urged to stay indoors and really limit your time outside and don't do any strenuous activity outside. Speaking of those air quality alerts, again, it's not just here at home dealing with that. The upper Midwest, portions of northern Minnesota, there's an air quality alert remaining in effect until 7 p.m. And then over in Michigan, the entire lower peninsula and most of the upper peninsula also has this air quality alert remaining in effect until midday tomorrow. And then for us, it's remaining in effect all the way until midnight Friday night. So the same precautions that you were likely taking today, if you were uncomfortable when you were walking or running outside, this is what it's going to feel like again tomorrow too. So kind of build that in when you're planning your Friday, that's what you're going to be dealing with. Now sliding to the south, we touched on this a little bit yesterday, the Saharan dust that's in the atmosphere that moved, of course, from the Sahara Desert across the Atlantic and then over into the southeastern U.S. Our skies here at home have been very hazy, but they're also really hazy across places like Florida and the southeast coast, and that's because of this dust. And also, there have been some showers in the area. So this dust that's in the atmosphere, it can basically act as condensation nuclei. So when you have condensation or clouds forming, those water droplets, they need something to condense upon. So when you have dust in the air, it's able to act as that condensation nuclei, or something that it can condense on. And then when you have that rain, it's going to absorb that, and then you're going to get something that's called dirty rain. So that's what we have with those showers that are moving through portions of Florida, portions of South Carolina, North Carolina. There's definitely been some reports and images that we've been seeing of just very dusty marks left behind as this rain has passed through. So again, that is considered to be dirty rain. If we zoom things out, this weather pattern, it's basically the same exact one we've been talking about all week long. So we have this really long frontal boundary that's extending all the way from the northeast through the Ohio River Valley and then back into the plains. And it's also the focus for strong to severe thunderstorms in some portions of the area. Fortunately for us here in the Great Lakes, it's been staying south of our area with the threat of strong to severe thunderstorms. But ongoing tonight, there have been several severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued in portions of Kansas, and sliding to the south in portions of Texas. There's a tornado watch that's going to remain in effect until 10 p.m. But if we zoom things in to this blinking purple box that you see here, that's a confirmed tornado that's actually heading toward the city of Lubbock. So we have very strong storms that are currently ongoing in some portions of the area, and a lot of it is coming down to that stationary frontal boundary that we've been dealing with for quite some time. Zooming things back out, I did want to point this out. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. So this is the severe weather outlook for today and tonight. And I left all of the warnings on here just to show you how wonderful the forecasters are from the Storm Prediction Center. Notice in the orange and the yellow shaded area, that's pretty much where we're seeing the majority of those severe thunderstorm warnings, the tornado warnings, and that's where we have the enhanced and slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center. And then advancing this into our day tomorrow, notice how that slight risk area is expanding across a really, really large portion of the central U.S. That's going to be on the southern side of that frontal boundary that I was just mentioning to you. So again, tomorrow, it's kind of this same exact area that could be dealing with showers, thunderstorms, some of which may end up becoming strong or severe. So that slight risk in yellow, that is a level 2 of 5, which means scattered severe thunderstorms could be possible. And that's going to include all hazards across portions of the central U.S. going through the day tomorrow and then likely into tomorrow night. For those of you around here, if you're hoping for rain, we do have more rain in your forecast in the coming days. Unfortunately, a couple showers and storms are going to be coming through during your weekend, but it's not going to be enough to be a drought buster. So we still have moderate drought across the majority of the Chicagoland area. I'll show you that map as well as our rain chances coming up right after this break. Welcome back. The latest drought monitor that came out this morning, and unfortunately for a large portion of the U.S., we are not seeing much in the way of an improvement. So all of that red shading that you see across the southwestern border down into Texas, portions of New Mexico and Arizona into the Vegas area, we actually have exceptional drought now. Same thing across southern California. So this area, unfortunately, the drought really has continued to get worse over the last week. And even here at home in the Great Lakes area, we've been seeing this moderate drought in place for the last 2 weeks. It has expanded. It now includes all of northwestern Indiana, where we have that tan shading there. For those of you in LaSalle County, portions of Kendall and Grundy County, you're considered to be abnormally dry. And then notice just west of Rockford, we actually have areas of severe drought now near Freeport. So unfortunately, in Chicagoland, the immediately surrounding areas, we could really use some rain and a good soaker. And we actually had that yesterday and the day before. Many locations picked up between 1 and 2 inches of rain, but it's still not enough to make a difference. We need several inches of rain over the course of several days. That way the ground can really soak it in. So your 5-day forecast here as far as rain chances in our area for tomorrow, most areas end up staying dry. The only locations that even have a chance of seeing a couple showers is going to be well south of I-80. I'm talking places like Kankakee County, Newton, Jasper counties. You may see at least a couple stray showers out there tomorrow, but otherwise it's going to be a dry, partly sunny day. And then again, that air quality alert, that's going to remain in effect all the way through the day tomorrow as well until midnight. So poor air quality is expected. And then even going into this upcoming weekend, that haze is still going to be around, but I don't think it's going to be concentrated near the surface. On Saturday and Sunday, as far as rain chances are concerned, we have a chance of showers, thunderstorms Saturday evening into the overnight hours, and then that's going to continue into Sunday as well. Sunday, there's going to be a frontal boundary coming through, so scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected. And based on the timing of that coming through during the afternoon, there's at least going to be a very small chance that we could see a couple strong, maybe even severe thunderstorms Sunday afternoon. So kind of build that into your plans as you're planning out your weekend, that you have to stay weather aware for Sunday afternoon. By Monday, rain chances, they're beginning to drop off. But again, each and every one of these days, not everyone is going to see the rain. It's just going to be very spotty in nature. So when it comes to the drought, it's not really going to get much better here over the next 5 days or so. Satellite and radar for us here at home, we still have just partly cloudy conditions overhead. We can't really see that, of course, because of all of the wildfire smoke that is still in place. Futurecast taking us throughout the rest of this evening. This model here is trying to bring in a couple stray showers for us. I'm not buying it. I don't think we're going to have that tonight. If anything, just increasing cloud cover. So skies tomorrow morning are expected to be mostly cloudy. Temperatures tomorrow actually look really good. We're likely going to be in the 70s, although 60s right at the lakefront because of those winds coming right in off of Lake Michigan. And then moving along into Friday night and into Saturday, we have high pressure that's building in. So we're still going to pick up those winds right off of the lake. So cooler lakeside again on Saturday. And when it comes to air quality and the wildfire smoke, it should begin to lift, and we should see at least some improvements going into the upcoming weekend. And then Saturday evening, Saturday night, that's when we are expected to see a better chance of rain. Today we topped out at 72. That is about 5 degrees below average. Average is 77 degrees. Our low temperatures this morning were within average range. We had 54 degrees at O'Hare, and average is 57. Of course, did not come close to the record high today, which is 97 degrees. And over the next 5 days, we're expected to be in the mid-70s Friday and Saturday, just shy of what's considered to be average. Near normal on Sunday. Then Monday and Tuesday, we're taking just kind of a notch back into the mid-70s. But looking ahead, so this is your temperature outlook from the 11th through the 15th, which happens to be Wednesday through the following Sunday. So we're talking next week now. We're starting to see that warmer air building back in. So by Wednesday of next week, I'm forecasting 80s, and I think that's how we're going to round out the week. And then looking even beyond that, this is taking us into the middle portion of June. You'll notice a good portion of the continental United States likely is looking at near average, if not above average conditions. And that does include the Great Lakes region. So hopefully we're going to be seeing those 80s moving in and then likely sticking around by the middle portion of this month. For tonight, 55 degrees. We'll have northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're going to be in the 70s, in the upper 70s, inland locations, but along the lakefront, we are only going to be in the 60s. 5-day forecast, we're in the mid 70s. Again, several chances of rain, but we have 80s on the way. I'll have those details in your 7-day forecast when I see you on the news at 9 p.m.